ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Three Jewels. Thank you for saying that. It is an honor and a privilege to have the Holy Geshe Lotar to come and visit the new Three Jewels. He has an incredible story. I hope that you can please share with us the story.
We just finished talking about what he'll teach over dinner, but basically he helped Holy Ken Rinpoche to come out of Tibet into India, and then the Ken Rinpoche came to the United States to Geshe Michael, and without him we would not be sitting in this room. There would be no Three Jewels, there would be no ACI courses, there would be no Buddhist Dharma in the English context that we understand it, and we teach it here in meditation, in yoga, in Dharma classes, in community outreach. None of that. If you take out the Geshe Lotar thread, we would disappear. Yeah. So I'm very honored and grateful that you've come, and I hope you get to ask him lots of questions. And we have first time translating?
Yes.
Yes, so be kind to him, okay? Okay. Without further ado, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, everyone, welcome.
Okay, so, 가르쳐 오래 된다. 이를 땅, 가자, 나 빈자간을 줄리기만 해야, 아니, 딜레오디는 마게나, 군인이 하고 그랬어. 이거 할 때는 군인 인지민지대 뒤주슬이야. 지금 시작으로 시기도. And 그래서 할 때는 안에 다들 제비스 and 저런 다른 투주 지나리아 그래도 내 관심 없지 이처럼 시행이 있어. 참 샤로체스.
So Geshe is telling that. So Geshe is telling that when he came from India to here, at that time, Michael Wick and there's another student like Ravika and Hector. They know that Geshe is in USA, United States. So that time they request him to give some teaching, short teaching in here. So in this little time, most short time, he want to give some teach that what he know.
Then that day, you know, that Tambutamando, this year is under Gan Tabati, Kishima Ramani, Gan Tabati, and the Kombato, Mato, and the Kasoe, Nindo, there is Kishila.
The Arikis Rinpoche, he was teacher of Geshe Lotar and Geshe Michael. So, and Geshe Michael and Geshe Lotar, they stay and they share their experience together until the Arikis Rinpoche, he passed away.
They pay in the tax, they show the condition in that Rinpoche, Kezu Rinpoche, Hasi Qualia, Jirabe, Cherries.
So, after, you know, when our Geshe Rinpoche, he passed away, and after that, he tried to find the reincarnation of our Arikis Rinpoche.
Then in the word, Dambi, Loni, Sumjing Shulia, and Yaputi, and Arikis Rinpoche, Mendos, and our shoes to see us and the Arinani Chumure, Tagale Chumure, Taganation Bali Chumure, Taganation or this Cascane, and the time goes.
At that time, so when our the great master Arikis Rinpoche, he passed away after 2 years, you know, some families from this country, they say, my child is our Rinpoche reincarnation. And some from Indian family, they also they say that this boy should be a reincarnation of our Rinpoche. Even from Nepal, you know, there's some, you know, family, they hope that, you know, his child, their own children will be a reincarnation of our Rinpoche. That time, many.
Ani, and Arina, again, Tambati, and it says, how near we are, and I have put it, how to see.
And some, you know, some families from here, they just give some, reason that, my boy is the reincarnation, unmistakable reincarnation of our Rinpoche. Because our late Arikis Rinpoche, he loved to drink tea. So therefore, even my son, this son, he loved to drink tea. So therefore, it's unmistakable, reincarnation.
This is those. Then the Hashem that near put it down the tender Rinpoche and see Sere Rinpoche Puja and day to see and so on. And there's a Uzu shoot down
and some other people, they say that my child, he always likes to sit on high throne. So maybe he's, reincarnation of our Rinpoche. Some people, they just bully, please accept this, my child is a reincarnation of our Rinpoche.
And the love the tongue and the reggae and the chance of socially easy came mass.
So, at that time, so many family, they bully to him to, please accept our child as a, reincarnation of our Rinpoche. At that time, Geshe say, he expressed that I don't want to accept, I always want to be, asked to Dalai Lama,
What they do is, and take a building and to one of the cities or the city, what they love is.
So, we have actually Sechu, like puja in which Dharma Center of our Arkansas, which is located in New Jersey. That time, we have Guru Puja offering puja. At that time, many students, at that time, Geshe Lotar, he explained that whatever some people, they expect their child is the reincarnation, but from my side, I don't want to accept. I must, accept. I will request to Dalai Lama that whatever he decides, I must follow him.
And Jungle Jaya Shuni, Shulu, as watching very Shuni, and that what's happened we met early, then Bell could be in it, and the what's happened we met, and very serious.
So finally, when he approached in front of Dalai Lama, and he asked the Dalai Lama, where should I find our Rinpoche, young Rinpoche? And should we find in USA or either in India, either in Bhutan, either in Nepal?
And that Katala Dromo in the Mangutin.
So, and His Holiness, he replied and he responded that you don't need to go anywhere. You must directly find in Mankod, which is, the small town, it located in South India. There's one code. It's a small town. So he take, so he went to Monko to find. So at the time, so he went to Monko and he collected many, babies' name, Maybe around, he got around 100 babies' name he collected.
Any art, they are serious.
So, he gave those names to Dalai Lama. And Dalai Lama said, your Rinpoche is not in this name.
Then he was the Archimedes.
And second time, he collects some another names from another parts of, So second time he gives some another name, and Dalai Lama, he refused that. He's not in here. So, and again he asked, so where shall I find? Where shall I, recognize? And Dalai Lama said that must, effort, try to find in Mankod.
And daily. Yeah, made the Dinale Mendoza. Mangutin had a booyah. That's what the chimney.
So, on the, so here, gives maybe around 200 different kind of babies' name to Dalai Lama. So, even Dalai Lama, he say he's not in here in this list. So, and he asked to Dalai Lama that if our Rinpoche is not in this 200 babies, so where should I find?
Any art, what's happened?
So, and His Holiness say, the third time, Dalai Lama, he said that you must, try to investigate more deeply.
And he been that 타마들 가르쳐 것도 생각다 니아마 명부디네 내가 뭐 현다 도네 내가 아를 도네 거바 도네 내가 구도 왜 다스는 거
So and the third time, His Holiness, he said that you must try like this, like basically they're from one court. At the moment, if they stay in Delhi, we can also try from both kind of families, like their hometown on the one court. But they, try to stay in New Delhi in some foreign country. We can also try from those families also.
What did you do that? Juma Chin and Pachi Jeppe Mizana
So after that, he asked some inquiry. He tried to verify some families. Is there anyone that who basically from one court at the moment they stayed outside? Is there some family, that kind of family?
And the Pigale where came to yours.
And actually in one court, there's 9 different kinds of Tibetan king.
On the gate, leader, to get that games and tell you to get the love jet and go to punch of
So each, camp, they have, each leader, and he try to, contact with the leaders, and they have a big meeting.
And did you tell me about the wasale?
Do you like to listen?
Yeah.
The share way to send it on the day. Not the leader from the
So Geshe Lotar, he want to express, he want to explain about our Rinpoche, young Rinpoche, because what is his name? Sorry. Actor, request him to be explained.
But did it start so much to the tenda? And control crown to see to start. Young rooms in Mungu or so in the Kamba Buka in and you make any cranky motive signals, motive the height of the village. So when the leader, all the leader and Geshe they are meeting, and finally what they decide, you must try to ask the astrologer, astrologer. Yes, it
So at that time, he tried 3 different kind of astrologer at the time.
I can't dig to Tonja and the game Buvena into the CHA2s. I know what the game about the not passing to the not to those loves.
But some astrologer they say that your Rinpoche is already burned, but maybe try to find in 9 can, there's first came, second came, third came, 9 came. Try to find a 9 came.
Then, I can't tell to delete on the Bali Pazal says.
And another astrologer, he responds that maybe you should find between Nepal and Delhi. Some astrologer, they say.
What's happened to starting with
So they make difficult situation to Geshe. Between Nepal and New Delhi is quite big, long distance. So where should we find?
Then this is that and Maraja Chaplain chair and Kantu to chair and Naporanzo the part to do and Poranzo which is one to Torres Slavians.
So and at the time, so Geshe he thought it's an obstacle. So he organized some pujas to reduce these all obstacles.
And he teaches that. See, then that would be trans about Fundu Son against Sherrod Slavi with the game tango and the and my game tango in Garwinding is to study. Now, down and do about who saw me, Jig Denny, John Castle, a jig hard order. You mean the Nigi Situs.
So after that, to Geshe he requests to the leader of those camp again, second request, and the leader of those camp, they meeting and they just converse each other, and the leader of the first camp, he said that there's 2 new children in our camp, So there's only two more, child left. So you can submit to Dalai Lama those two names.
Then from that there are the main delay then so the book Gadan Sasaji that don't the book soon that has stronger is the dinner mean Tama that carries
Another. So he collect the name, those two child names from the first camp, and he collaborate with the name he collect before, like two. So totally it became like 300 child. Totally it became like 300 children.
But then it's hard to say. They didn't. They just that. Come and then. Down the actually down the Mindu the Alep. Oh, that enough to. Say you feel it and that's it.
So finally, he submit like 300 babies' name in list, and Dalai Lama he said that now he is in this name.
And this was that I had to go there is.
So Geshe Lotar at that time he feel like very relaxed. And Dalai Lama he said that I will decide tomorrow.
Lama to do something, the meaning to get the Kamala. They not a power ama who soon mean you put the idea shots. Kids do shots.
So there is 300 babies in the list. So Dalai Lama he just stamped on the last name,
In this one just then they did that who the power the unit that's what England,
so the father of that boy, the Dalai Lama, which is stamped on the baby's name, the father of that boy, he always tried to, he always travel on Europe, France, and England. So Geshe, he tried to contact, with his father. So at that time, the father, he said that I'm in a rush now. I have to go to France. So it's a compulsory for you to give a call. Call now.
In we study can put the
So at that time, so Geshe Lotar, he said to his father that your son is the emanation, reincarnation of our Rinpoche.
Is the dinner party Slam Sudex?
At that time, the father, he asked which Lama, which Rinpoche. So he want to go the story behind, little bit the back story. Actually, the Arikinso Rinpoche, he was the school teacher in the Shimla in India.
I know. At
that time, the student used to be said that Shimla Gela, which means Shimla teacher.
There is the Babati and Simile Gangi look Chan and
at that time, so when the father asked which Rinpoche, so he explained about that story behind the story. And, the father say, I was a student in the Shimla of this Geshe. The father said.
That in the time,
so at that time, his father felt very happy and rejoiced, and he said, I want to sacrifice my son. I want to give my son to you.
Not.
Then did that Pelical Tapati Amalekate together. And it's Rubuchi the Tamoma to prevent out to
Okay.
Jova, Gombu, Gombu. What when now, which has a what to travel in it.
So after a while, the Rinpoche father, he tried to contact with his wife, the Rinpoche mother. at the time, the Rinpoche mother, she told that, Rinpoche, when he was in the womb, like in his stomach, at that time, his his position is quite unique in his stomach. So when for her, it's difficult to give the nature birth for her. So unfortunately, she had to take the surgery. Surgery. Operation.
I know did it and it's a the body is into that day. Jorum Jing and Nangina, and a Jorum Jing and he get it down, and the Kandala, he get to kiss those.
So at that time, Rinpoche's father, he said that, if my son is the Rinpoche that recognized by His Holiness, please show me the proof of His Holiness, and I need one recommendation letter from your residency. So if you don't have those evidence, so I'm not going to give you my son. At that time, so Geshe, he sent the letter that he get from Dalai Lama, and he write one recommendation letter from his residency, and at the same time he sent one translated book by our late Arikhyaltso Rinpoche. He sent these three together to him. So when the Rinpoche father, he received the letter that he sent, at that day our Rinpoche, even he can't speak, he's too young. At that day he do something like a special, sign. He showed some special sign that he wake up so early at that day.
And
so at that day, the Rinpoche father, he showed that, the book that he translated in his past life. So at that time, the young Rinpoche, he just pretended something like very exciting, when he saw his book.
What that was saying, and
so therefore, the Geshe, he take quite long time to recognize this, our young Rinpoche.
In a Baba, he might have
so, in the between, the parents, they, feel too difficult to give their son to monastery, So, the last year, luckily, they give their son. From the parents' side, they don't want to give their son to Geshe. But from the Rinpoche, from his own side, he said, I want to be a student of Geshe. He always say like this. So for a few years, the Rinpoche parents, he didn't give the Rinpoche to Geshe. And at that time, Geshe asked to his parents, why you don't want to give your son? And the parents, they want to be Rinpoche to learn some English, So luckily, they passed, they gave Rinpoche last year.
What did there is? And that another shall few years.
So now the Rinpoche, he is in monastery. Yeah. He's 13 years old now, our Rinpoche. Now he is 13 years old. 13 years old.
And 9 years, around 10 years,
so the way he behave and the way he doing, the way he do, it just look like very similar to our previous one, previous Rinpoche. Maybe in here, in this hall, there's some, Rinpoche's senior student in this hall. So you can, if who don't know about our Rinpoche, you can ask to those senior students in our late Arikinsu when we try to take a picture. So he always, making his mouth like very funny,
There.
And he always, he's the senior student of our Rinpoche.
I know what it is. That then, do that. Tango to get you, and give you Chile for it. Can't be again. I see the Jalayon that's left and will be message.
So when we invite our young Rinpoche in our monastery, at that time there's one student, the senior student, he visit to see the Rinpoche, and at that time Geshe Lotar, he asked to that student, do you want to see Rinpoche? And she said yes, but I don't believe that he is an unmistakable reincarnation at that time.
And this little chat over
at that time, and she said that, do I need to prostrate?
I think they can't do it. Me can't get chat over. Can't tell them what they can do.
So at that time, Geshe Lotar, he said, it's your wish that you want to prostrate or not. A prostration? Yeah, and she thought that it's better to prostration, give a prostrate.
And it them makes you
at that time, Rinpoche, he's just playing and he's, concentrate on the playing something. At the same time, the Rinpoche, his eyes, he focused on that lady, that.
Then they do say, you're just so that Moran Maruji,
and she stayed with Rinpoche for a while. And after a few moments later, Rinpoche, he stand up and go outside. At that time, young Rinpoche, he said that, come with me. And he's asking to you that our late Arikinsu Rinpoche, he'll love dog, isn't it?
Love dog?
Dog.
Dog, yes, he had Hapcho.
So at the time, Rinpoche, young Rinpoche, and he going downstairs, and at the same time, she follow the Rinpoche. And Rinpoche, we have some dogs in our house. So Rinpoche, put a chain on that dogs and, take that dog. And and even she didn't believe that is an unmistakable reincarnation. And finally she said, can I take one picture with you?
Do you chat with your Lotus party?
So our at that time our young Rinpoche, he pretend that put his hand on the back side and like he showing some funny mouth like this. So so that time she feel she cried at that time because the young Rinpoche, he behaved like this is very similar to our past Rinpoche. So like that story, the short story. Now he is in monastery.
Okay. Tatari and Kasore Kasanga and Michael Penny Kasaju. Rebecca, you do this. If you don't get that, church that he share with you, then I share the right.
So now we are going to start our class. Recently, the Rebecca and the Michael League, they both request to Geshe to give some teaching here.
아니 다 최시대 최최의 최대 그래서 강대 두지니 좀 나와 담대체 그런 결과 그 아니 최시의 가르치기에서는 최시기에서
So we say dharma, dharma it just if you translate in Tibetan is che. Che is it means like che, che it means that fix up something. Dharma is the definition of dharma is to fix something.
근데 저 가르쳐 오래서 아니 나 너무 무슨 저些어디를
So it means that if you practice the dharma, it means you have to fix up. It means like it means that you have to fix up your mind. You have to reduce your three poison.
어디 가르쳐 오래서는 아니 너무 무슨 저 오래서
So the three poison is always with us, So when you practice the dharma, you have to reduce that three poison from your mind. So it means that you are practicing dharma.
어디 너무 무슨 저의 손상 아니 저라고 그랬어.
So therefore, we say che. It means that fix up. When you fix up your mind, it means that you are practicing dharma. You are practicing proper dharma.
대체상 너무 무슨 저의 될 저체. 자상 아니 당 등상 아니 망체들이 섬주당 부질이야.确实就好像这么这样的去到做这些去到空间人上的立马的事。
In this time, in this generation, in this new generation, some people, they consider that dharma is something like, just a chanting, just like, they keep the body, statue like this. It's not a real dharma.
这我们的看这前面这几个月是这肯定是几个月是牛毛做出的这个月是我的事，牛毛做出这我的事。
So, for example, if someone asks you the question, are you practicing a dharma? So you must say that I'm controlling my mind. It means if you control your mind, it means you are practicing a real dharma.
这是上牛毛做出的看来是呢。
So we're talking about the three poison. The three poison is desire, anger, and ignorance. So if you try to reduce those three poison, it means that you are practicing a real dharma and pure dharma.
아니디 나네 다 너무 두숨도 나네 두쇼 카르레스나 아니 셰단데레스.
So we're just talking about the three poison: desire, anger, and ignorance. In these three, the anger is the more worse than these two, another two.
아니 하소래 너무 두숨 나네 때는 지 되자레스.
One is desire. In these three, one is desire.
안지디 영모레스.
The one is ignorance.
다 셰단기 니모 다 셰단신이 들어요 되어라. 사자이네 뭐지스 소소이네 뭐지위에. 되네 가리네 잠을 듣고 있으면서 자들이 거기 좀 지겨워 말했어.
As we're saying that, the anger is more worse than those another two. So he want to give some logical reason why it's worse. So if you got anger, when you get angry, it creates a lot of unhappy on your family if you think from a small society. So if you get angry, if you get more angry, it make unhappy for your own self. The second, it makes unhappy in your family. And in some commentary, in Buddhist commentary, they give the fire is the symbol of anger. The fire is the symbol of anger.
제가 지치도 메시니 숙처버지 바인구나 안 메디세게 들이하면 추지 거를 추디 야고지 뭐죠는 메디세도 뭐 제일 두로 봤어.
So, for example, when the fire became a big, when the fire on the jungle, for example, when you have put a fire on the jungle, so if you want to, stop that fire, firstly you have to use the water, isn't it?
되게 야고치세 두말 봤어.
Even, water cannot, clear up those fire completely.
제가 이 메디 바인구나 harcavurasını pördüğünden kız.
So, when you get a huge fire on the jungle, so at that time, it's best way to, survive from that fire, you must run away from that fire. Don't try to, use the water.
어디, 뺀 딜리샤니, 단, 나로를, 나랑 주고 닦아서 그래. 미사나 사장이네. 아니, 부고다 지다이네. 간달마다, 콘도 쉬우지 않아요, 그거는. 콘도 때 매우 써야래야. 아니, 내가 그런가, 실로지, 유해치리야, 그래. 스틸
So therefore, you can, therefore, if you get anger in your own small family, at that time, if your wife or if your father is angry with you, at that time, you never try to respond to him. Like, you must, keep a distance for the permanent, for temporary distance.
메시니에 그냥 싱그러워서 여저수네 예도 울면도 매 가서 그래 야채 바사지 매나 벌금 알아봤어.
So, for example, when there's a huge fire in the jungle, if we leave it for a few days, it will be, disappear after a few days. Same as that anger, if you ignore to those persons who always angry at you, if you always try to ignore him, from himself, he automatically, clear of his anger.
아니 주로 딜레 어디 딜레실레 딱 공부 시부서도는 안 주로 마치 참좀더 마치 감잠제 아니 즉 저주로 나무라 지니 조용하고 예 공부 시라사테 이민들 디네지 제한게지니 브라우체나 안 이거 공부 시기로 왔어.
So, for example, if your friend is very angry with you, at that time, you don't try to respond him, something like this. At that time, he is, uncontrolled. He can't control by himself. If you try to do something, he get more anger. At that time, you just ignore, give a distance for a few whiles, and you must buy some sweets and some drinks for him, and automatically, after a few moments later, he try to close to you. Same as the fire, you can think.
And there was the that the judge, I said, the social chaxim de Kaba, Chabi, what deal at Danny, Chapa deal at Danny, then Murgy which is suited.
So we just, he want to start about the anger, topic of the anger in this. So he want to explain about the desire.
And then deal at Danny, that the Bena Chashanam. 소설에 고야게 잘하지. 이미 개로 채워도 되면 좀 교는 뭐 지금 소설이 뭐 정도도 탐내니 저기랬을 때.
So for the desire, if you think for a little moment, you feel that it makes some happy in your life. But if you think investigate a deeper level, it make you always unhappy. For example, if you attach to something, that on that thing, someone trying to, take that thing. So you always become unhappy at that time.
That is when a chashan more kind of modern thing. Yeah, sure, something up to something. Modern deal ching for a gem, which change the you go something more to give it to your mass.
For example, you can also think like that if you want some, the good car. So, So at that time, you always try to look on that car until you get it, isn't it?
라서는 때니 대체까지 딱히 라브 뒤들이 때는 가부를 제라는 저게 지다같이 민물에 지다같이 같이 전에 파주지에 도지 지기로 왔어.
So if you got that car, at the same time you feel very happy at the time.
데디 제네 따디 서니들이 때야지들이 도르치 버렸어. 가르쳐 두시니요 말았어.
If you get that car, what you want from few years, so if you buy that car today, for example, and the second day, your the desire will be little smaller than the first day.
Then you must see that then
So after a few days, your attachment, it disappears slowly.
대단 this car did 가서래 car 뭐랑 먼저는 두겠지만 사실 생각보다 제버렸어.
So at the time, there's no any problem from that car. It's problem for your mind.
디가레스다 되자들레스.
Like the attachment and desire, it makes something like this.
다 되자지 세단의 띠모들다 띠모. 머리부. 뭐 띠모들다 머리부. 아니 다 코라 가르스 띠모 델라 때니 다 가르주고도 가르주고도 아들 대 내가 제모도 그냥 대대야 근데 남주 지구도 왔을 때 되자가 말에 띠모 지려레스.
Like the third one is the ignorance. Ignorance means like blind. It means like you are already blind of some realities, something like this. Because the ignorant is the root of all the samsara. We always say like this. Is the cause of samsara.
What it is that the church ever be done? Church, what you get the man for is.
So you always have to think that those three wolf poison always make you weak in your life. So at the same time, you have to know that those three poison is something you don't need in your life. You always have to think. If you think like that day by day, it means that you are practicing Dharma.
What is that? The 수지기어를 그네 제벌에 전화지기 지기어를 말해 소소랑 셈비 제대고를.
So all those kind of obstacle in your life, something unfortunate in your life, something worse in your life, it doesn't make from some external, from outside. It created by your own mind.
되게 셈 되게 두고 마대베 유전 때 개로 파도 부에데 셈 되게 지기어를.
So our mind is something like very unique that it's very dangerous, it's very good if you think like this. Like if your mind is like something not good, if you can't control your mind, it make a big controversy all over. Do you believe? Do you accept? Do you have any question on this topic?
Yeah.
You said that when someone is angry, then you should run away from them. But what if you are the one who is angry? You can't run away from yourself. What should you do?
아니, 다다 미시바지 농라와이나. 아니, 소소기 다소 저거도지 소로나데나. 네 소소 니 디레 야자와니 시라핑마라 타야마인 파나메스 안티스라니 비치오라라. 아니, 기지 소소 콘도 사와이나. 소소 콘도 사와이나. 아니 소소 콘도 디레니 카레스 비치오레스.
제 소소 콘도 사소나. 아 소소 함디 티 콘도 사세기 유디 티 레요 말스. 야 로고스.
For example, you don't. So, for example, when your question is when you get angry, your own self. So, how you protect by your own self? Think about like this. You never angry on this cup, isn't it? When you get angry, you always get on another person, something like this. For example, if you're angry on me, you never, you try to keep distance from me. You never sit close to me, together to me for a few moments.
Yeah,
if it doesn't work, you must complain to him.
네, 다 들어요.
You have question? Yeah, you can ask any kind of question if you have.
이거 맨날 따다.
네.
근데 아니 다 어디서 젤레를 때니 때니
Lesson.
레서 그래. 이순 때 레카만이 서요.
So we say that this three poison is something very worse in our life because those three karma, these three poison always create some new karma.
될 때니 레카만이 싸워 될 때니 아니 랜데디 레긴데고 니와도 용무됐어.
So like these three poison, it always creates some kind of good karma, either bad karma. If you create the karma once in your life, you must have accept that, and the result must be their result. You cannot keep distance from the result. You cannot liberate from those karma law.
맨날 차샤나스. 가서 랜데시니 니와도 유행해지레스.
So, do you guys believe in karma? Yeah, easy.
유튜브 니와도 요레스.
So, the karma exists.
여과의 유생 가져서는 아만주 산제 좀 낸데스니데 엔디베 세메 기부 입었디 롱그 권을 주 리베 권을 주 전에 세메 기부 입었 주 루투고 요레스.
Like the Buddha Shakyamuni, the Buddha, he always explained about the karma. And as a Buddhism, we always believe him, isn't it? Because he is a quite qualified people and he is, some kind of knowledgeable people. We're all going to accept him.
대선자다 이베 기부 대선자 되게 아니 다베 교와시 그제 맞다다 마다베 교와한테 시에요 그래서.
So as a Buddha Shakyamuni, before he enlightened, he adapt the 1,000 birth in samsara, which is the 500 birth is something like unpure birth, and 500 birth is pure birth.
But the 대산이 또 타마 아니 가발이야 아니 개별세가 풍부했어.
The last birth, like the 99 birth and the 1,000 birth, the last birth, he choose the birth in the prince of the king in India is the last birth for him.
어디 그랑 아니 제가 중이 제베 탕지 산예게 제베 제베스.
So when he get a birth, when he born as a prince in India, so at that time he there's a 12 different kind of his life story.
아니 그나 지게 계시다 된저로 하자고 전에 아니 그나 그래서 너무 두순고 노예 체도 산예베 넘버 때문이었어.
So at the time, when he born in India as a prince, at that time, so he reacts something like unique for our samsara being that he don't attach to something like luxury life. He don't want to need something like beautiful in his life. He showed those all, like as a movie to all the sentient beings in samsara. If I can do, you can also do same as me.
걔네 코란 아니 가소래 산재비 제바 때문에 휴래야 아니 마페 그다 그 뒤에 아니 좀에 남아 주는 요 말이스
콜라
시험을 현대를 능 말이스 그 뒤에 방법을 진짜 배우면서 무효 말이스
콜라
지금 싫어 와페네.
So at that time, when Buddha, he shows those all 12 his life circle to the sentient being. At that time, you can imagine he never laughed. He just always tried to be like very serious face, like not angry, not so happy. His expression like normal face at that time.
걔네 텐제 그런 미장지 권다리야 펜이야 시푸드 된 that's 샤무샤브스.
So once time, he went to see one family in a small village. At that day, he gave a small. He laughed a little bit at that day. The Buddha, he laughed on that day. So at that time, his student is together with him. So at that time, his student asked the Buddha that, you never laugh. Why you laugh today?
And the Koran Sumbres, Pasha Sashi Malani, Langenja who Pandolang Sumbres.
So it means that
the lady, Namin the Sumbres.
So at the time, the Buddha, his student asked the Buddha that why you laugh today. Usually you don't laugh. But unfortunately, why you smile today? And Buddha, he said that in this family there's something funny karmic relation in this family.
And Pasha Sashin Sever Karas, the Mizandi to Yune, and the Quran to come back to Loya, Sochi Dinane, Yasim Serious.
And why Buddha, he feel very laugh and something like, he feel like laugh. And that time Buddha, he said that in this family there's some funny story that related to karma, the family. And Buddha explained to his student, in this family, behind, on the backside of his house, this family house, there's a small lake. And that family always try to, fish and eat, take the fish from that lake, and they always eat the fish.
Then Amadi, Takajama, the chair, the Baba did Yasim did it. You Baba did Chandaji, Tamrigas.
So the father of that house, he is a fisherman. And one day, the father of this family, he get a fight with some other guys.
Then the Baba serves.
So that another guy, he killed that, the father, which is fisherman.
Then the Baba did
So, the father, when he died, in next life, he born to fish in that lake, which he always catch the fish in that lake.
And did you tap Amadi Marita then who did the Baba said near daddy?
So, the son of that family, he know that someone, killed his father. So son, he get angry. The son, killed that, the guy that who killed his father.
That is the deep Darabata. Daddy and Quran be fully given this.
Super.
Than the Mizandi, Yasini, Mizandi.
Alright. So when that, the son of that family, it grown and he got married with someone, the enemy of his father, he born son of his, the another boy.
That day, Amadi did gain Cheney, Tombres. And the Baba said, and the boom,
the mother of that family, she died by naturally died. She died naturally. So the mother of that family, she born in like dog of that young son, his family. So the young son of that family, when he get married to some ladies and he got a baby, that baby was the enemy of his father. So that baby he keep in his hand. Which is the enemy, of his father.
The Quran about the alligator, the whole symbols.
So his father, he born in fish. So that boy always like to fish, So his son, catch that fish, and that boy he eat his father's.
Baba take shots. Amadi, that 피추주된 데 쇼고도 수루다.
So and
리고를 좋아요.
so mother of that family, she born in dog, and that dog, she always expected to get some bones from his son.
아니 산예면이야시 랜드 포탄들 시네 샤무샤브.
So therefore, Buddha, he know all those things, how it began, therefore he feel very love. This so Buddha, he said to his student, like this, it became like this situation in this family, therefore I feel love.
That is a Pasha Sashin said, Babe Shat Sanyeres.
So at that time, Buddha, he said two words, like Pasha Sashin, meaning Pa is father, Sha is meat, Sashin, Sa is eat.
Then Pasha Sashi, Jawu Pangdora, Staporang says, Jawu Jorva, they were not fully together.
So Buddha Shakyamuni, he make a conclude, he eat his meat of his own father, and he keep his enemy on his hand.
Then Malani is Taamadig Mini Sharon and they
So the dog, the dog is actually his mother, reincarnation in his next life. So that son, he uses bitch, that dog. It means that he hitting to his mother.
What touches a let number of members did it,
so therefore, you should take some attention on karmic connection. Karma is something like funny. You are like so you never like dominate on karma law.
Ani you can't say
Therefore, whatever you create the karma, whenever you create the karma, you must accept there's some result in your karma. Do you have any question about the karma?
Is your karma from past life carries over to the next one?
Excuse me. Can karma from past life go to your next life?
Lende le jola. Kyo dila san lende le kyo chima dra yore. Miye ki jama da. Miye ki jama da.
Ne kyo dil khan cheba di kyo chima yungu yore. Lende jizu dil ani thongje nunu di le. Lende shul nunu le. Ani kare ngode sung de jiyo what yore.
Like the karma is something like if you talk like in the Bruce level of karmic connection is just like there's 3 different kinds of karma that you create karma in this life, wrap in this life. Some karma if you create in this life, it's going to wrap in next life. Some karma if you create in this life, it's going to wrap in after 3 lives. There's many different kinds of karma, and karma can also travel, like
What did it say?
Karma is something like like kind of energy. You cannot see. It's some kind of energy.
Then I can't do Kashel, who you do, then over. She was so jay in the Razan. That's how much she was to do that to sit. Did it angry Jerusalem?
And maybe he guessed that some of you have your son and daughters. And do you feel that when your son, he doing some nonsense and naughty thing, you feel uncomfortable?
You can call it my name, but
so some, son and daughter, they never try to listen on their parents.
So it
means that, the son who never listened to his own parents, if we think by the karma law, it means that for him own self, he never listened to his own parents. It means like karma is like something like this.
So the lesson in the point was, and social can't have it, social poetry. Social can't have it, and that landed tell mean to them, Yamajuni Chimame, even the main would just let us Shatar not this.
So whatever you create the karma, like negative karma or positive karma, that karma result is going to happen in your life. So it doesn't happen in this life. It is going to happen next life.
It is Jaza Landek Polia, the day needs you or the Jaza can the US.
So Gishila, he explained about the karma with some collaborate with some story.
The Jaza can't tell you.
So do you believe on karma? Yes.
Did you do that? Ben Chasan Sazani led to Bushunan and Chamboja Wiggles. Young Lamb Modubo, Chitas starting with the Junsu, Namdang Yang Taran, the child Buddhist.
Like,
one Kandar Madaya, Sazani Kagar, Chechi Cherry, that did Julius, Sazan Sabajilian Wine, Yoya Koran. Like,
you can also think for the couples, the two couples, if they have a karma to stay together in this life, they don't need to be, share there's something emotion each other, because they already create the karma to stay together in this life. If you don't have create the karma to stay together in life, either you share your experience, you share your emotion to him, it's not going to happen. Which means you must need karma to do something. So therefore, don't ignore the karma law. You must take attention. You must always have to think the karma. So for example, like some beggars or some homeless, when they have some food to you, if you can, you must give him some food. If you can't, don't show him some anger to him. So therefore, instead of that, if you show some anger, to him, and it's going to create some more negative karma, and it will, lose your own self. So do you hope you guys know about the karma a little bit? He hoped that. So whatever Gishila he explained is not some kind of theory. It's not some kind of his prediction. It's just a reality. Whatever he explained is a reality. So if you don't believe whatever he said, you must analyze by your own self. So you must analyze. You must try to verify is real or not, and then you will believe.
Okay. Then some have a question. Yeah.
I have two questions, so you can answer either one. So the first one, I was thinking, what did Ken Rinpoche do so that he's not born a fish or a dog or anything, so he became a human again? Like, how did that happen? And second, I was wondering, what was it like to serve him when he was your teacher and he was older than you? Versus what is it like to serve him now that he's a kid? Like, what is that experience to serve him then and serve him now after you found him?
I think Yontan and I didn't hear or understand the second question.
Yeah.
What is it like to have a lama who is older? Then they come back, now they're younger. How do you serve them? What is it like to serve a child now?
And the first question was?
First question was, how do you become reincarnated as a human and not a fish?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
단단히 소스 그게 소놈 싸죠. 소스 아니 비게 디체도 그랬어. 단단 소스 간 채워디 아니 겨와치면 다갈래.
So, Gishila, he said something, and I want to give some, point on this from my own experience. So, Gishila said, if you want to born in human in this life, you must accumulate more merits like this in life. So, I want to share my own experience. In Buddha, he said that whatever you have done in your past life, you can know from this life. Whatever you want to be in next life, you must, your mind is going to decide in next life. So it means that if you want to born in human, as a human in next life, you must be like, in Chandragiti, text, Master Chandrapiti, in his commentary, he said like, it means that if you keep the discipline, whatever your parents they want, if you always follow your rules, and if you always keep the discipline, and it means that you're going to born in human life in this life.
Okay.
Could I add, the discipline he's referring to is your morality. You have whatever basic things of not harming,
Like
kindness.
Like discipline, it means that you don't try to kill someone. It means you discipline your mind. So you don't try to steal something from other hand. It's also discipline. And if you don't try to broke a law of your country, it's also discipline. If you keep those discipline in this life, so in next life you are going to get a golden egg.
Yeah.
How is karma empty?
Karma empty?
Yeah, the emptiness of karma.
레디언이 돈이 가져갔어. 그래서 막 What is your question? We can make it
Be
clear.
more specific.
If everything is empty, like of existing from its own side, it seems like karma is this thing, this law that determines like what happens or like the way you perceive things. So how is karma empty or is it not?
Yeah, I got it. 레디언이 내배 동안에 내버려 동안에 나왔어. 네 간대를 얘기 됐어.
But kabadu to mara wale.
내배 동안.
Kill.
So we say the empty, the empty, we say all the existing thing is emptiness, What do you think is emptiness? What's mean by emptiness? What do you think?
That something doesn't exist from its own side. It's not self-existent.
So therefore, we say that, the thing which create and thing which give a birth, the thing, which give something unique, on those things, we always project this is karma from our mind. Their karma, it doesn't, exist independently from its object side. So whatever we, project our mind on those things, so therefore it's emptiness, we say. Do you understand?
Like this, teachers.
It's a little bit deeper reason. For example, okay, I'll give you some example. Like the thing which have a head, hand, two legs, can speak, can have two eyes, we always consider this is a human, isn't it? The sentient being who have two horns, which can sound like which have a tail, and we always consider this is a cow. So therefore we say all the existing is just projection of our mind. It is not independently exist from objectively. Do you understand?
Okay.
So, for example, I'll give you an example. Yeah. For this Samsung phone, Samsung cell phone. So it means that, the phone which have a Samsung name on it, have one button, and have some processor inside, we always consider this is a Samsung. It's just projection of our mind. It doesn't independently exist objectively. If this phone exists objectively, if you show to the dog, do they know it's a Samsung phone? Why? Because it's not, exists objectively. So it proves that all the existing thing is just a projection of our mind. Do you understand?
Projection.
So therefore, the karma, you just say karma, why karma is empty, why karma is empty? Empty means it's something like the thing which have to give a result, the action which have something, fruit, the action which have something, the thing, the function which give us something new birth. We always project those kind of things on karma.
So karma is a projection.
Oh, not only karma, all the existing thing in this universe is just projection of mind. Yes.
So why does it exist? Karma, you say it's a rule, like a universal law that seems to be beyond us. So I'm confused about me projecting karma. I thought karma was...
Because there's,
I thought karma was projecting onto me.
Yeah, you have that kind of doubt, I have many experience on those things. Like, it take quite long time to understand on those, because it's something like we are talking that we never see in our life. It's just like, we have to combine our mind experience with the, commentary experience. We have to combine. We say, Lui Shapa. We all say all the existing thing is just projection of our mind. But when we say directly, it just always appears from, independently to our mind. Isn't it? For his name is Michael Vick. So Michael Vick, it means he is Michael Vick. It means that this is Michael Vick. It projects from our mind. So Michael Vick, he is not exist from, independently exists from on object side. Because if Michael Vick, he, exists from his objectively, all the Indian guys who stay in India, when they saw, why they don't know he is Michael Vick? So therefore, it's all the thing is the projection of our mind. We say like this. Then you're asking this, why it exists,
Well, I'm talking about karma specifically. I understand, Maya and objects and things being projections. That I get. But these universal laws that control us, don't understand how I'm projecting.
So it means like, I'm not talking that all those things is controlled by mind. I'm not talking about. The what? For example, I'll give another example. If you plant one seed on the earth, so we pour the water, after a few days later it grown. Why it growing? We're asking the question. The another thing we just say it's just a projection of mind. So objectively, why it happening in world?
Yes.
The final answer is a nature. Like why all the the functionable thing is changing? If just another thing which we say is a projection of mind. If it is projection of our mind, why our mind can't control this? Your question is, you're confused on that. So we just say the thing the functionable thing, why they are changing, we say it's a nature. Why human is dying? It's a nature. So nature we can't change. That's the final reason. Do you understand?
Okay. Then example.
Do you have a question?
Yeah.
Yes.
I do. So the country of Tibet practiced Dharma, many monks.
Yes.
And probably mostly monks, very religious. So I don't understand why Tibet has gone through such horrible things with the Chinese community since 1950. Why is their karma so bad that all those bad things happen?
Tadang adu di peba namba du ani de chede ago chigo di ine ro 아니 더 배우한테 되게 개미 와라 보고 쇼래 되니 내 남이 디고도 왔어. 내 남이 디고도 같이 차.
왜 뭐마게 미럽 속에 제배 남이기 제우들이
Actually we say that the karma is just like countless, the what Geshe explained is just like a particular karma. The karma has also like general karma. The karma that you create by all together. The karma that you create by one individual. There's many different kind of karma. Why the Tibetan they lost their country and why it happened in Tibet? It means that the degeneration Tibetan people they create those all karma together at that time, so it wrapped in this life, in this century.
Young so
maybe, for example, my past life maybe create this karma to lose our country, and in this life I'm going to, accept that result of that karma. Maybe it's possible like this. We can think also like this.
Maybe
Geshe, his past life, human, maybe he created those kind of karma. In this life, he accept whatever he created in past life. Maybe it should be like this.
Okay. Okay.
Now, and one thing I want to say that, according to emptiness, I think it's more, like unique, something like this. And when we ask to some scientific, some scientists, we have a lot of conversation and meeting with scientists, and the science they consider that the human is something like they say firstly the body is a combination of cells. And what is human? When I ask where is human, what is human? When I ask, they say these all are human. They say so. In Buddhism, when we explain about human, my head is not me. If I ask to you, like you, is your eyes is you? No. Is your nose is you? Is your mouth and your all body part is you? So what is you? The where is you? So when we talk like this, it makes something like useless. But when we think on the second reason, it makes sense. For example, that your head, your nose, your mouth, your body, and ears is not you. But when I touch your hand, then why you feel that he touched me? Why you feel?
My mind.
No, why your mind feel that you touch? You know that your hand is not you. So when I hit on your hand, then why you feel that he hit me? Even your hand is not you. You know that. So those logical things when we think, it makes something like unhappy, like happy in mind. You have to think like this day by day, day by day. So after, if you think for many years, it takes your mind very close to emptiness. For example, and he's talking about the creating the karma by the tree poison, something like this. And I want to give some another taste, like self-grasper, what is self-grasper?
Yeah.
I want to give some example on self-grasper, what I, have experienced until now. Like, there's many people here, like many students. If suddenly when I stand up and distribute my present to all of those students, if I didn't give to you, so at that time you feel that he didn't give to me. That me, it means I, it come up. So that I create anger in your mind. That you became angry on me. Isn't it? For example, you can think like this. Mm-hmm. That I create the anger. And when you think something beautiful thing, I need that, that I create the desire for you. Isn't it? So you can think like this, what is I,
Okay. I think you are a little bit tired.
A habit, right?
Yes.
Quite a habit.
Does it make sense? If it doesn't make sense, you can ask me a question.
Don't disqualify.
No.
Okay.
So therefore, I have one. because whatever I really like to share my experience to other whatever until now I have experienced. So maybe you guys have seen some picture of some practitioner, they with a hat and some bones on a hand, they praying without clothes. Have you ever seen that kind of picture? Some practitioner, they do like this. Some yogi. If you see from that picture, it look like something he's crazy or mental, he's psycho, something like this, isn't it? Everyone see that. Everyone consider he's crazy. But first time I also think that maybe he's some funny guys. But when I think deeply, it means that when the yogi they practice, when they want to see the reality of your own self, they go to graveyard, like some graveyard, and they do some rituals and pujas, and they call the ghost, like ghosts from the graveyard. So when the ghosts come in front of you, at that time you feel scary, isn't it? That you feel scary. At that time, I feel scary. So that I comes separately from your body. That I comes separately from body, isn't it? When you feel when you feel scary, your body is something like like no any weight. You feel, isn't it? That I comes separately in your life. So that I, always create the karma in your life. So that I. So you must have to know that will of that I is always mistake, is usable in, is no use in your life. So that I always, attach with your mind and come in your samsara for, year by year, many times. Until now, we didn't separate with that I, so we are still in samsara. So you can think, if that I is not exist, so how do you think that? It's just like empty, isn't it? Can you think? Isn't it? There you go.
Okay. I think you are a little bit tired. Not.
So Geshe, he just collaborate with some story, and I just go by some logic. Hope you understand. If you have any question, you can ask me directly.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, maybe Yonten will stay a few minutes if somebody wants to talk to him. His English is good. Thank you, Geshe.
Thank you.
Good job.
Hello.
Okay, now stop.
Yeah, up to you. Up to you. We can go longer if you want.
But again,
If possible. We have more questions.
You said prayer
Please teach. Please teach.
Okay, I want one thing to tell you. Baby born, when our turn is with it, then a power down Amani, Singlea, and Rangnamshi de.
So he's just explaining about the, we're just talking about the rebirth and reincarnation, isn't it? So the cells, I mean, like the sorry, I have to use that. The sperm from the father and mother blood, so it combined together. Our consciousness from past life, it jumped in this.
Then you saw that who would the any Baba Subcharian, Pajul that Chiu Buddhist. So I'm a Subcharian, I'm a Jul dot Chiu Buddhist.
So at that time, if the father he passed his genes more to that child, so the child behaves same as his father. So if the mother same also, if mother she passes her genes to his son, the son it look more similar to his mother. So you can also think like this: the consciousness from of that guy from past life to this life. So behave of that character of that consciousness. It only appearance like not often. Sometimes it appearance.
Okay.
Because his character is already covered by his father genes. even the mother just, his own real, character is appear in some, sometime only, not offensive.
Good.
So there were many years from when Rinpoche passed away to when he was reincarnated, right? Where was he in those years?
So I'm also asking that question. Yeah. I asked that question to my teacher also. rinpoche gumba zoni ani yangsi ngozi chide bora ta uni jana ngado sha shi shi gu da kije shi gora da shi kewa le de sha shi shi gu da ma go do ala andi bora kwachi ma vela
참참.
yeah, maybe he went to sightseeing. And we can also say that, okay, I'm going to answer that. I found the solution in that. Actually, when we born, born in samsara, there are three different kinds of birth. One is, the born by karma, law of karma. The another one is born by compassion, power of compassion, and power of some, like in the path. Like maybe the Khyentse Rinpoche, the people, the human who can burn by compassion, their own self, they have a, freedom to burn in which time, in which, period. So maybe our Rinpoche, he had a fully freedom for his burn, so maybe he choose after 3 years later, maybe like this.
He could have been in a heaven, like visiting some couple, with
Okay.
That's my opinion.
Okay.
Huh?
Yes.
I have a question from a little bit back, but I have a partner and I love her very much, but sometimes we want different things and then we have arguments about it.
Mm-hmm.
What to do when with someone to have my life with them, and sometimes we don't know how to be together when we want different things as well.
코란이지 거기 그 사장님도 신이 뒤에서 아니 코란이 사장님도 사장 지어라 군이 아니지 여바다 니지 여바 현퉁고 말했어 뭘 되고 콜 퉁고 말 콜 되고 뭐 퉁고 말했어 그래서 이 참고 여행지도 여러 가르치고 그랬어
까디 첩첩시구나 말했어 가르치는 게 제일 아니 뭐든 아니 투베지도 탑적으로 너무 많이 뭐 뒤집지 우고 있잖아. 기분이 많았어.
Like the Geshe is saying that like have to think each other. The one thing is this, like whatever she want at that time, if you don't like whatever she like, that time you must have to accept. Whatever you like, at the same time she don't like, she have to accept, have to think each other. If you really can't do like that, you have to find choose the second step. From the both sides, have to,
Chiragi, the quantum batiga, the Udu Shirajam, led to Neratavis.
So if it doesn't work, so it means that you both doesn't have any karma to stay together in this life. First, you have to use your logic. If it doesn't work, it means that you both doesn't have karma to stay together in this life. So if you if you haven't created any karma to stay in this life together with her, your life partner, so you can't fix by money, isn't it? So anyway, you have to accept.
Then how do you
So either you always accept her, either she always accept what you want. If you really want to, go forward, if you really want to, spend your life with your partner, you must have to accept like this. So you can also do some, if you think that if you believe in some pujas, you can also apply to some pujas to be, more closer. Yeah, maybe it can help. Because if you accumulate more merits, so we always say that if people who have a high merit, whatever he think, it became in your life. So the another logical reason you can also think of this.
So to that question, and in general, what is the most important karma you can do to make it ripen in this life? So for his example, I want to be with my partner. Maybe we don't have all the karma now, but is there some karma I can do today, tomorrow, the day after to stay together this life? And more general, maybe you don't want a relationship, maybe you want enlightenment. What is the karma to plant enlightenment for this life?
Enlighten.
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 That's the game.
It became a Buddha in this life.
What's the karma to make it? And what's the karma to keep the relationship?
다 고랑기 다디 나도 karma 레레레 처럼 보기 시작하는 거지. 다 고랑기 아니 즉 다가를 하나 미야기 아니 매진 가르치기 됐어.
제 다가라는 멜레 소소 소고です.
Yeah, as I explained it, like the karma is something like, if you explain, it just look like easy. If you go more deeper, it's just like, atom. You cannot say this karma is this karma is this. As I give you an example, if you want to, really want to, stay with your partner together, so you must accumulate some more merits. It creates the virtue karma in your life.
Bena chashegi na. Ngen fan le se. Ani sosu chebe le sigyo chebe sosu man ben chane xingji ma zuwi na chama mebe xingji zu su na. Ya chama yo zao ni ni ji ma des. Ma chama yo be xingji zu su ya chama ran ki ge chama yo be ki ge chama me zang ni ho si ma des. What the leg it
even you can think that, if you think that your life is not so happy, and if you think that if your life, the way of your life is not so happy, and like sometimes, in some moment, whatever you want is not getting in my life. If you think like this, so you don't take too serious on those, only on those weakness point. If you think like widely, like whatever I get in this life, it's just creation my own self, what I have created in life, in the past life. So if you think like this, with the, collaborate your life with the, Dharma, it makes more happier in your life.
Okay. Come on.
Could Geshe please talk about how he thinks when he takes care of baby Rinpoche?
Child.
He was child. How does he stay close to his teacher?
Excuse me?
How does he stay close to the child?
What does it feel like? How does he take care of now?
야 공부도 내가 누구이 제송 샤스 아니 내가 팬은 배제 뭐 할래네 이게 저게 동아 지금도 나는 되게 말했어
so
마 파마게도 같이 할 틀려 팬도 있는
so Rinpoche from himself he always said to his family that I want to go in monastery, I want to study in under the Geshe hand. And either, Rinpoche parents, they want to keep the Rinpoche with them for a long time, but Rinpoche, he don't want to stay. He always say, I want to go in monastery. Then I can go. He always say, at the time, Geshe Lotar, he didn't give any chocolate to Rinpoche. From his family, they always, give him chocolate to make him happy, but no use. Rinpoche, he say he want to go in monastery anyway. So it can prove that Rinpoche is very close to Geshe Lotar. Sometimes he scold, and at that time Rinpoche, he don't show his face like unhappy. So he just has a normal face. Even he scold. So even there's maybe around 12 students under him. So they all love Rinpoche and they all look after Rinpoche. Yeah, Rinpoche now is good.
And teenagers.
Oh.
What did you
So at the moment he's good. So when he turned to a teenager, at that time can't decide.
What did they
So if everything is empty, right, and everything is a projection coming from our minds, where do all of the deities, or like you just talked about, like a puja ceremony, if it's empty, like that deity is not removing the obstacles, your mind is. But why do those deities still exist?
Have you ever think when we do a puja, in the wood, in the ritual, there's always there is some word like tongpanyi. It means emptiness. If you keep your mind more on emptiness, it means that your 3 poison is coming down. How much you keep your mind thinking on emptiness, so it means it's reducing your 3 poison. So if no more 3 poison, there's no any way to come obstacle in your life. It's a logical reason.
So are the deities and emptiness beings? They help. They help teach you emptiness. So
deities.
Gods.
Or
Deities.
Do
they help your karma and your learning of emptiness? That's what.
So it means that like Manjushri, the area is sorry, I don't understand. I just have seen like the Manjushri Buddha. They can't destroy your karma, but they can show the way. They can guide to make it something different. Like if you kill the one animal, if you didn't purify that, so in next life someone going to kill you. The same, whatever you do after a few years, it's going to happen to you. Same. But if Manjushri, for example, if Buddha Shakyamuni teach you like, you created this karma, you must purify that. So the result, it became more smaller. But result still exists. But your result became more smaller, not big. You don't need to die. It's small, one day headache, your result can change in another result. So the Buddha, they always help like this, but they can't reduce clearly from your mind.
So it's their teachings, you're saying, that help us.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but then some people worship like the statue. Why?
People worship the statue if the statue is going to help them, the image, but it's not so.
그래서 성경이 부들이 전부도 딱 부들도 다 아니 나도 이 성경 뭐 디시샤나니 가서 지갑 주길래 빅하지 않냐.
단디 그때도 룸을 시체적으로 했어요.
So he want to explain. He want to give answer. We just collaborate some story on this.
배 냐마 거리 있는 데는 아마 경과지 그때는 가서 부디 안 해서 의리 하지 못했어. 이 조화라가 밤만 되게 부대를 가는 거 없었어.
해서 의리.
하서라래. 내내야 탐내야 이거. 되니 조름 붙이기 가서 챔지 기초 아스 인지 기초 아스 나 그랬어.
Below. There's one, mother and son, which is in Kham. Kham is maybe northern side of Tibet.
East side.
East side. I've never been to Tibet, so I don't know. There's one mother and son. They stay in east side of Tibet. So the son, he tried to go on the near to Lhasa, and his mother asked him, if you go to Lhasa, you must bring one teeth of the Geshe, Geshe, Dipankara.
A teacher's tooth. Is that like it's
Adisha.
Shakyamuni. Shakyamuni's tooth. Sorry.
Yeah,
The Buddha's tooth. The Buddha's tooth.
Yeah, so his mother asked him, if you go to Lhasa, and please bring one tooth, a Buddha tooth.
Then Buddha Machi Yalo, you did Chol Chemet, the Waya that Kayomarwa, and Geshe is on this.
So firstly, that boy, his son said, okay, I'll bring. But that boy knows there's no any, Buddha tooth in Lhasa.
They just what they lead to change and kick Roger Thomas.
So when he go to Lhasa, and when he coming back to come, in the eastern side of Tibet, to his home. So on the way, he remembered. Firstly, he forget to bring that teeth. On the way, he remembered, my mother asked to bring a teeth of Buddha teeth. So at the same time, he saw the one dead body, dead dog.
And he saw the powers.
So that boy, picked up that, tooth from the dog.
Then the truth,
so he, washed the teeth and put in one, kadak,
And the Amalata job.
So that boy give to his mother is Buddha teeth.
And Amaga and the job sent me but Shesha, Chen and Yasha Cha
So and mother, she thought, is a real Buddha teeth, by her faith, she always think, is a real Buddha teeth. So she keep that teeth in the in a higher place, and always prostration on their teeth.
Then you're losing the teeth, sorting on it.
So after a few years, from that teeth, there's some appearance of the brightness appear from that teeth. After a few years later.
They said that so
therefore, whatever you do, it more depends on your faith, not on object. So if you make a statue of Buddha, something like this, it makes you more easy to, to faith him, to recognize him. So therefore, people always try to make a statue of Buddha.
So whatever, we all Buddhist people, we make a statue and pay expensive on the statue, and if it doesn't matter to real Buddha, either they make or not, but whatever we do, it's for own self, to create own merits. So therefore, if you really want to practice the Buddhist religion, it more depends on your mind and your own motivations, not on object.
On demands. What did it?
Does it make sense?
Yes, I think.
But the object should be a virtuous object, not a stone.
Yeah, either if a stone, like it's difficult to imagine the Buddha. If you make the Buddha statue, it's quite easy for us to imagine.
Okay. Thank you. You are listening. I'm talking crazy talk. I hope so. You are a little bit.
It's 9:15. Hope it work in your life. Whatever he explained.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Geshe.
More.
You want to give cover?
Jambe Bowo,
Ida Kamba, Dea, Deda, Swindy, Tezo, Yawa, Deda,
Abdumo,
Guzushe, Yawa, More, Shot, Sagi, Sambo, Domo, Chojus and Jordan, my dear Pani, Yawa, One, Wondo, Yawa. Well, he is Sarame Monastery Chandri Master.
Oh. Oh, really?
Chen Chan.
He's the object shooting master for ceremony.
Oh, very good. Oh my God, on the last time we do a dedicate, the propose to dedicate. What's the meaning of dedicate? It means that whatever you listen to Dharma, you create a lot of, good karma and accumulate a lot of merit. So if you didn't dedicate this, so maybe tomorrow you get angry, it's going to destroy all the, karma. So therefore, you have to lock your dedication is something like lock for your good karma and your whatever you create merit. So after doing those all good things, you must dedicate. Dedicate means you have to think like that. When you dedicate, whatever I do, something good today, whatever I accumulate the merit, I must use this merit to all sentient beings until they enlighten. So this is a dedicate. So if you dedicate like this, whatever you accumulate the merit and good karma in this life, the anger is not going to break this all. So dedication is more important part for practice.
Okay.
Thank you.
Take a photo.
Yes.